As a parent or guardian, I'm sure you really want to make sure your kids stay safe. That's a very important job as a parent or guardian, is to protect the kids you are watching. So today I want to share with you some tips for helping your kids learn how to self-assess and make a choice as to if a move would be a good choice or not, so that there's still an autonomy and they're still learning responsibility, but you're also promoting safety. So my first tip for helping your kids learn how to self-assess and decide if they should do a move or not is to help them think through the potential risks involved in a move they are doing. If they're jumping from rail to rail, what might happen if they slip? What might happen if they don't quite make the jump? Thinking through the options and what might actually happen. Maybe they are thinking about a jump really high, and if they miss, they may fall 10 feet. Okay, what would be the impact of that? What would you possibly break something? What might happen? What is the potential risk? You know, if they're trying to jump on a curb, the potential risks there are totally different than if they're trying to jump 10 feet up in the air. So you really want to help your kids think through what might possibly happen if this goes wrong. And then my second tip would be to think through how could you prevent those potential injuries. You know, if maybe you might fall, but there's a way you could catch and grab with your hands so you swing instead of hit the ground, maybe that would be an option they want to think about. If there's a way that there are potential injuries, but they could do something to avoid that, and then also thinking through, do you have the skill to do that? You know, if there is a way that they could do the jump and then catch and swing, but they don't know how to swing, that's not going to be an option that's available to them. So helping them think through what are the potential risks, and then what could you do to avoid getting hurt if something does go wrong. My third tip is to help your kids think through what is the necessary skill for that movement. Let's say they want to take a 4-foot jump. They may need to consider jumping 4 feet on the ground and see how they feel about that before they go up to where there's more risk involved. Maybe they need to make sure they can balance before they get up higher. So thinking through the skills that they need, and then do they have those skills and are they able to execute them at an easier level? Because if you can't do it at an easier level, the chances that you can do it when you're really up high are pretty low. So encouraging your kids to think through what the skills are is a great way to help them have the tools they need to make the choices if a movement is good or not for them. And then my fourth tip for helping your kids learn how to self-assess if a movement is a good choice for them or not is to help them think through how they feel about it. You know, do they feel really scared and it's just freaking them out? Maybe that's not a good option for them to go for. But maybe they feel kind of scared, their heart rate is beating, but they really know that they could do it. They've practiced at a lower level, they have the confidence, they know they could do it. Well, that might be a different choice they need to make. Or maybe they feel like it's an easy jump and no brainer, it's okay for them to do it. And then helping them understand, well, if you have all the skill and you have the confidence and you know you can make the jump, maybe that is a jump that they could do. So those would be my tips on helping your kids learn how to self-assess if a movement is a good option for them or not. In the next video I'm going to share is going to be tips to help your kids self-assess their movement, to decide if they're doing a good job, if they want to do better, what they want to improve on, how they want to tweak things. Because it's really important to help kids learn how to self-assess so they can take responsibility for their movement. When you take responsibility for your movement, that mindset goes into other things. You know, if you're always trying to move better, then that kind of transfers to school. Maybe you want to try to read better and you're assessing, did I focus? Did I understand what I was reading? And a student who is able to assess how they're doing in school, figure out what they need to work on, and work towards being the best they can be is a student who's going to excel at whatever they do, no matter how hard it is.